It's the nuts and bolts of Monday Night Raw. Well, howdy fans, this is Old T Voeltz with your nuts and bolts for the June 26th edition of WWE's flagship program. That's right, it's Monday Night Raw. And this is taking place from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. That's right, home of the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, that's right. Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant, all the stars are from the Lakers past are in the building. Okay, they're not in the building, but there are some other stars in the building that we'll be getting to a little bit later. Before I get to that, I gotta say, hey, if you have anything to say about this show, and guys, a lot of people have a lot to say about the nuts and bolts of Monday Night Raw. We had a record-setting amount of viewership last week. The bosses here, they are completely behind me at this point. They are loving it. That's right, all the bosses at OneWrestling.com are totally behind Old T Voeltz. Boy, you and me, thanks to you, with me, we've come a long ways. Remember how we started? We're not going to talk about the past. We're going to talk about right now. And OneWrestling.com is completely invested in the nuts and bolts. So much so that they gave me an NXT show. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. But that's not why we're here right now. We're here for Monday Night Raw, baby. And we start off Monday Night Raw with the big dog in the yard, Roman Reigns. And he accepts the challenge to that ambulance match with none other than the monster among men, Braun Strowman. But as the big dog in the yard, Roman Reigns, is talking, an ambulance interrupts him. Well, he goes right up to that ambulance and he's ready for Braun Strowman, and he opens the back of that ambulance. Braun Strowman wasn't there. And then, bow! Back of the head, Braun Strowman attacks. That's right, the monster among men attacked from behind. And he took Roman Reigns on the stage and heaved him off the stage, bam! Into the side. Oh, sorry, Mr. Perfect, sorry. He took Roman Reigns and heaved him right into the side of that ambulance. It reminded me of when Kevin Nash, back in the Nitro days, took Rey Mysterio Jr. and lawn darted him beside that trailer. That's what it was like. Braun Strowman took the huge, gigantic Roman Reigns and heaved him off the stage and bam! Off the side of the ambulance. That's how we started Monday Night Raw. A real hot start. The crowd was into this right from the get-go. Next up, we had, remember, speaking of WCW, we had the team of 3 count in the ring. Just kidding. We did not have 3 count in the ring. What we did have was Cesaro, Sheamus, and that's right, Elias Sampson. We have all 3 center stage in the Staples Center, and they're going to put on a concert. That's right, they got the guitar. You saw Cesaro and Sheamus with the microphone, and then we got the Hardy Boys. Okay, we love the Hardy Boys, but they interrupted a performance that we were about to see. Sheamus singing, Cesaro singing. You know you wanted to see it, but we didn't see it. Maybe that's a good thing. Anyways, Hardy Boys come out and interrupt, and they have in tow the Demon King, Finn Balor. That's right, we got 6-man tag team action for our first match on Raw tonight. Okay, this is what also we had. We had North Dakota's own, the Hollywood star of the Transformers movie, Josh Duhamel, commentating throughout this entire match. That's right, the stars were out in Hollywood. I was checking the bench for Jack Nicholson. I didn't see him. Anyways, this was a pretty solid 6-man tag team matchup that ended with Balor hitting his coup de grace on Cesaro for the pinfall. From there, we got a 24-karat pictures production from Goldust, and he says he's going to be talking the shattered truth when he takes it out later on R-Truth. That's right. Remember last week he said next week R-Truth with you and me. That's what we got, and that's exactly what happened. That's right. He wasn't talking about the new Ring of Honor champion Cody Rhodes. No, this was Goldust talking smack about R-Truth. From here, we have the legend himself, vintage Goldust. And I say vintage because he had the old school Goldust attire. The old school Goldust attire. Maybe his first attire, perhaps. He comes out to the ring versus now his arch nemesis, R-Truth. Well, Goldust used the old cameraman to his advantage right from Jump Street, and the match never got started. That's right. He pulled the cameraman in the way, and then he attacked R-Truth. This match never even got started. Should we even count this as a match? Hey, we need to count as many matches as we can, so let's do it. We're counting it. Anyways, this was over quick. But I did like this side of Goldust. More on that later. Up next, we have Paul Heyman backstage, and he is about to talk when Samoa Joe comes out and grabs Paul Heyman from behind and teases the coquina clutch. He doesn't put it on it. He just teases it. Man, does Samoa Joe have no fear or what? Doing this to the Advocate? Whew. This guy has great balls of fire. Anyways, from here we have the GM Kurt Angle, and he's spinning the wheel with the entry numbers for the women's gauntlet match for later on in the night. And he does this throughout the night with all the female competitors on Monday Night Raw. Next up, Miz TV. That's right. Miz was up next, Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, and he was still trying to make up to his wife Maurice because of all the stuff that's been going on the past few weeks. He's trying to butter her up, nah. Anyways, his guests this week on Miz TV were none other than the Ball family. Who? Okay. Now I get it. I've been working to the grindstone here in the offices of OneWrestling.com, so maybe I'm out of the loop, but I did not know who the Ball family was. So I'm going to save you some time. The dad has done something. The younger son is going to be doing some stuff, but the one that made the most news right now, the one that you need to care about, is Lonzo. This guy was a second overall draft pick in the NBA draft just recently to the LA Lakers. So it made sense for him to be there in the Staples Center. Hey, this was a big get by the WWE to get the second overall NBA draft pick for the Lakers in the Staples Center on Monday Night Raw. So that was big. From here, the wrestling crowd did not think so. This was in the Staples Center, but the wrestling crowd was not supportive of dear old dad of the Ball family or that younger son, and there was a mixed reaction for Lonzo. They're like, okay, we know we're supposed to like this guy. This guy could be the future of our home team, the Los Angeles Lakers, but this is a wrestling show. And not to mention, he came out wearing flip-flops. Okay, who makes their debut appearance in the Staples Center wearing flip-flops? Boy, am I out of the loop. Boy, has time passed me by. Are you with me? Let me know. Comment section. Anyways, this turns into a bit of a verbal tirade between the dad and the Miz. And the Miz, he has a great quote. He says, "Are you going to unleash all the balls on me?" You got to watch this, folks, because I can't talk about everything that went on in this segment on this show. Got to keep it family friendly, all right? Now, granted, OneWrestling.com is all in when it comes to the nuts and bolts, T-Volts, because of all of your great viewership. But I'm not going to go into what all was said in that segment. You can read about it online, or just better yet, go and find a clip. Hopefully you got the original version, because that's going to be edited out. Anyways, thankfully, Dean Ambrose interrupts this segment. I say thankfully, and if you watch the whole segment, you know why. Anyways, this turns into another 6-man tag team matchup between Ambrose, Rhino, and Heath Slater versus the Miz-Tourage. That's right, the Miz-Tourage. Now, who really coined that phrase? Was it Nick Hausman? Or was it the people at the WWE? Was it The Miz? You tell me. Who said it first? I want to know. Let me know. Anyways, 6-man tag team matchup. Ambrose, Rhino, Slater versus the Miztourage. Made up of course, The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. I love this new group, but I want to see them get a little bit more cohesive, okay? Start dressing alike. Have an entourage entrance of some sort. Change up your look, Bo Dallas. Change up your look, Curtis Axel. You've already been seen with what you're currently wearing and this and that. You got to change it up for big things to come. And it started on this night. In fact, we saw Curtis Axel using Larry Hennig, his grandpa's maneuver, the big axe. That's right, he hits Rhino with the big axe, causing Bo Dallas to roll up Rhino for the pinfall. Can you believe it? Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas got a pinfall victory on Monday Night Raw. Is this a sign of things to come? Who knows? Hey, this guy's smiling up above about his son, Curtis Axel, getting a big win on Monday Night Raw. Okay, from here, folks, we have, remember last week how it ended? We found out who shot JR? Not JR. We found out what happened to Enzo and Big Cass. Turns out it was Big Cass. Well, this week we have Enzo out in the ring. And he's still hyped up. Still not looking too somber. But he calls out Big Cass. And Enzo's calling him family still. So much family that he's willing to fix this. He says, some of what you said, Big Cass, is right. I want to fix this. Well, Big Cass comes out, and I tell you what, this was an emotional segment. There was emotion on both guys' face. Last week, we saw tears on Enzo's face, and we saw a bit of anger on Big Cass's face. This week, we saw emotion once again on Enzo's face, and we saw a tinge of emotion on Big Cass's face, too. It really was looking like, okay, here we go, guys. These guys are going to get back together. They're going to be able to put this behind it, especially when it came. That's right, the big apology from Big Cass. He says, I'm sorry. He doesn't say I'm sorry, but he just says, I'm sorry. Emotional segment ends with a big embrace. And they get on the microphone, and you're waiting for it. I was waiting for it. The whole Staples Center was waiting for Big Cass to turn on Enzo. It was coming any second, right? They get on the mic. S W A F T. Nothing. That was it. They actually made up. They were actually going to be okay. They go up on the stage. They raise their hand. Things are good. Bam! Big clothesline by Big Cass on Enzo. He put him down. He dropped him like a bad habit. That's right. And then he picks up the pencil neck geek Enzo, and he throws him down the stage. He turned, officially turned, right there in front of everybody on his buddy, his family, his familia, Enzo. And by what I mean by turn, I mean he turned from best friend, from family, to the worst enemy. The crowd was all over him. So were some of the commentators. In fact, Big Cass then goes to the desk and confronts Corey Graves, saying, stay out of my business. He says, I don't care what you have on Kurt Angle. Texting, remember that? What's going on there? We don't know yet. I don't care what you got on the GM. Stay out of my business, Corey Graves. And I'll tell you what, Big Cass, don't mess with this guy. Watch for big things to come from Big Cass. From here, we finally got another matchup. We have Seth Rollins versus Curt Hawkins. Now, I know what you're thinking. Does Curt Hawkins play for the Houston Astros? No, he just dresses like them, and let's face it, the Houston Astros look okay in baseball outfits, but as far as a wrestling outfit goes, this was hard to look at. I mean, you gotta wear shades to watch that. Maybe that's what he's going for. I don't know. Short matchup. Rollins hits the knee to the face for the victory. So Seth Rollins is the victor here. Of course, Bray Wyatt is shown on the screen, and he threatens Seth Rollins because these guys are continuing to have problems. From here, finally, the Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar, arrives, finally, and he jumps out of the limousine backstage, and he's not wearing the Universal title. And the internet went banana over this. Can you believe it? Oh no, he jumped out of a car not wearing the title. The internet went banana. Patience, folks, patience. Anyways, next up, we have Heyman, and he calls Samoa Joe a Samoan dummy. Okay, he didn't say dummy, he called him something else, but you're going to have to watch that for yourself because I got to keep this within the confines of OneWrestling.com. That's right, they're behind old T Voeltz and we want to keep it that way, right? Anyways, he calls him a Samoan dummy in so many words. Well, Lesnar then comes out, and don't worry folks, don't have to go banana, he's wearing the Universal title. That's right, he's out for moments though when Joe strikes from behind and latches on that coquina clutch on the Brock Lesnar. That's right, the coquina clutch on the Beast himself. Well, Lesnar attempts several times to fight out of this coquina clutch. I thought they were going to take down that part of the stage up there, the backing there. They were ramming into it. This was physical. This only lasted a few moments, but it was physical. And just as Lesnar was going out, some other wrestlers came out and they pulled off Samoa Joe. Luckily, it was the team of the Revival. That's right, the Revival. And who else was it? The Revival. And, oh, I think it was either Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows. But those three tough guys is what it took to pull Samoa Joe off of Brock Lesnar. This was an intense situation. Intense. Have you ever seen Brock Lesnar in that position? Being put out from the coquina clutch? Samoa Joe, this guy's not afraid of anything. This guy is showing no fear. Have you ever seen anyone show such non-fear in the face of Brock Lesnar? We've seen different types, but none quite like this. This segment was awesome. Awesome segment. From here we have some cruiserweight action as Lince Dorado takes on the King of the Cruisers, the champion Neville, the unstoppable Neville. And ringside was Akira Tozawa, and he's dressed to the nines. And everyone's saying that this guy is definitely part of Titus worldwide. Who was a fan of the Titus brand? I was. But guess what? The Titus brand has gone worldwide. So let me ask you, who's a fan of Titus worldwide? I am. I love this guy. And I love this guy. Anyways, Neville ends up tapping out Dorado with the Rings of Saturn. And then Titus comes out and he says, hold on, Tozawa, you're my new charge, but save this match with that champion in the ring there for Great Balls of Fire. I like how they're saving this. Don't let these guys touch now. Save it for the big event, for PPV. Do we even call it PPV anymore? Pay-per-view? Event? I don't care. I'm going to keep calling it PPV. Are you with me? Are you with me? Our numbers lately show that you're with me, but we want to grow those numbers. Let's show the world of wrestling, the internet. Let's break the internet. Let's show them that we mean business when we talk about the flagship program of the WWE Monday Night Raw. I got to stay under control because we got more show to get through here, folks. Hey, guess what? I didn't even have to tease it this week. It's time for the top 10. That's right, the top 10. The Raw TV, Travis Voeltz, top 10 as compiled by me and my staff. Now, the person under me, assigned to me, Superboy, he has some staff, tremendous staff. Kudos to you guys. Thank you so much. I hope I give you enough praise. Me and Superboy have been spending a lot of time together. I've been showing him the ropes. He's my cub reporter, just like I started. Remember? I was the cub reporter. Now Superboy is my cub reporter. That's right. I've been showing him the ropes. Anyways, they compile the data, and then I check it over, and maybe I tweak it a little bit. Anyways, I put my final approval on this. This is the official Raw TV Travis Voeltz top 10 for this week. Coming in at number 10. Bray Wyatt. Coming in at number 9, Elias Sampson. Ooh, he dropped back a little bit after this loss. Number 8, Dean Ambrose. Number 7, Braun Strowman. just for his mere presence and the way he treated Roman Reigns, throwing him against the side of that ambulance. Number 6, Finn Balor, who got a big victory this week. Number 5, Seth friggin' Rollins. Number 4, Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, still Intercontinental Champion. He almost took out the Ball family single-handedly. Number 3, the big dog in the yard. He maybe have gotten a little bit smaller after bouncing off the side of that ambulance, but he's still number 3 as far as our ratings go. That's right, Roman Reigns. That leaves number 2, still this week, the champion, the king of the cruisers, the unstoppable Neville. Who can stop this guy? And of course, our number 1 contender, who gets his match at Great Balls of Fire, Samoa Joe. Leaving us with our Universal Champion, of course, Brock Lesnar. Hey, do you guys agree with the top 10 this week? Let me know. That's what that comment section is for, right below here on YouTube. You don't want to do the YouTube thing? Let me know on the Twitter. I'm at Travis Voeltz. You can always contact me through onewrestling.com also. They know where to find me. We've been getting lots of mail lately. Like I said last week, record viewership. Let's keep it up. Let's double it. Let's break the internet. You and me together. We can take this place. Well, let's not go just yet. Let's stick to the LA Staples Center, okay? Because guess what? It's the main event time. And this time, the main event is exactly what many people have been clamoring for. The female competitors of Monday Night Raw in the main event. That's right. We have a gauntlet match for the number 1 contendership. And first out was Bayley, and she takes on Nia Jax. Well, unfortunately, Bayley got pinned. The hugger could not hug her way out of this, and Nia Jax continues on versus Mickie James. Okay, so now it's Mickie James versus Nia Jax. Well, James gets pinned. That's right, Nia Jax is on a roll. Next up, it's Dana Brooks versus Nia Jax. Brooks gets pinned instantly. Next, again, Nia Jax, because this is a gauntlet match, versus Emma. That's right, Emma's back. Well, Emma was gone again real quick. She got eliminated real quick. From there, it was the final matchup. Nia Jax, still in there, gauntlet style, versus the boss, Sasha Banks. The boss. Ooh, okay, I can't do a very good boss impression. Who should I do? This guy? Ooh, yeah. Cup of coffee in the big time. No? How about this guy? Ooh. Okay, I won't do it. I won't do it. How about this guy? That was me spitting my gum out. How about this guy? The best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be. Huh? How about the greatest tag team of all time, the Brainbusters? Huh? How about Al Snow? You got some head? Yeah, how about that? Who else we got back here? Oh. How about them apples, folks? Okay, we have Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks in this gauntlet match. Unbelievably, Banks is able to submit the now worn down Nia Jax to become the new number 1 contender for the female strap in this very physical matchup. Well, this brings out the champion, Alexa Bliss, who wants to stare down Sasha Banks. Well, Sasha Banks isn't much for stare downs, and she knocks down Alexa Bliss, and that's how Monday Night Raw went off the air this week. You know what that means? It's time for da-da-da-da-da, wah, 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 ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, wah, wah, wah. That's right, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Got a lot of feedback on this segment. That means we're going to keep it going because the feedback has been thumbs up. That's right. Okay, here's the good. The maniacal Goldust. That's right, the maniacal Goldust is back. The legend Goldust is back. This isn't the low to mid-card Goldust. This is the vicious, the maniacal, the mind game playing Goldust. I don't care what outfits this guy's playing. This guy is a veteran. He's beyond solid in the ring. He's a great tactician, both physically and mentally. And we got to see some of that tonight. Also good was the situation between Big Cass and Enzo. Let's face it, Big Cass fooled everybody. It looked like they had made up, and they were just about off of camera when bam, the big clothesline and the big press slam. We don't see enough press slams anymore. So it was good to see one from this near 7-footer. Big Cass. What's going to happen from here, folks? Also good. All good. Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar. These guys are the gold of Monday Night Raw. That's right. Do I want to say carrying it? I don't want to put down everyone else, but let's face it. Samoa Joe and the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, this situation between them two, it's irresistible force meeting the immovable object. This is the greatest thing happening right now on Monday Night Raw, and it is the greatest thing happening. It is tremendous. More of this, please. This brings us to the bad. Miz TV. Normally, I love Miz TV, and let's face it, the Miz did his best to save this segment, but it was bad. Go and see it for yourself. It is worth seeing just to see how bad it is. And the ugly, all the multi-person matches. What was this? The King of the Trios night on Monday Night Raw? I mean, 6-man tag team match, 6-man tag team match, gauntlet match. That's all we saw. The whole night there was hardly any singles matches. And here's the other problem, folks. This was also ugly. Once again, only 6 matches. This Monday Night Raw, it's a 3-hour program on paper, and there was only 6 matches. Come on, guys, we can see more action than that in 3 hours, which brings me to my last ugly thing for this week. It went over 3 hours again. I love professional wrestling. Obviously, I love professional wrestling. I'm working for OneWrestling.com. That's right, I left everything else behind as far as financial things to come work for OneWrestling.com, because this is what I want to do. I love professional wrestling, but 3 hours of Monday Night Raw is plenty. I don't need it to go over 3 hours. Let's get that within the 3-hour time limit, and let's have more than 6 matches, please. Alright, guys, that's about it for today, but I cannot wait until next week to see what happens between Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. What do you think's going to happen? I want to know. Do you think he's going to take him and break him in half? Huh? Maybe he's going to rip him in half like this. That's right. Thunderlips is here, baby, in the flesh. I want to see you next week. Let's blow up the internet, you and me, on the Nuts and Voeltz on Monday Night Raw.